Ron Paul is dangerous, and I truly, truly mean dangerous. Even more so than Obama, even more so than Romney, even more so than George W. Bush and FDR. Now, you may be wondering why I would say that. The first thought that's probably going to come into your mind is I'm a liberal or a conservative or communist or some sort of stupid shit like that. Well, the truth is, I'm a libertarian. Now you're even more questioning why I would say something like that. Now, why would a libertarian like Ron Paul? He agrees with you on 99% of things. And that's true. I agree with Ron Paul on 99% of things. And that does not change the fact that he would be dangerous to the ideas of liberty if he got elected. Now think about this logically. Just purely from a logical standpoint, no emotions or no dreams or ideals of how much perfect things would be with Ron Paul. And I agree, he probably would do a lot of good. That's not the point. Temporarily, he would do a lot of good. Let me clarify that. The United States economy is fucked. Anyone with any understanding of economics and knowledge of what the debt that we currently have is going to do to us within the next 5 to 10 years. It's hard to say. You can't really put a precise time frame, but soon, anyone that knows what's going to happen to the U.S. economy, and then who's a libertarian, who wants Ron Paul to be president, is sort of like saying you're a person that knows you're on the Titanic, and you know that it's going to hit an iceberg within the next few hours. Well, the last thing you want to do is to put one of your friends in charge as the captain of the Titanic before it hits the iceberg. Because guess who's getting the blame when it hits? You guessed it, the captain. Might not be any of his fault. It might be uh, the results of other circumstances completely and totally outside of his control. Doesn't matter. Who are the people going to blame? The captain. Even if he was recently appointed to the position and it was the result of other people before him who screwed everything else, doesn't matter. People blame either the person in charge currently or the last person in charge when the ship sinks. And like a sinking ship, the United States economy is going straight down. There's probably not going to be a recovery, or if there is, it's only temporary, caused by inflation, which is going to, well, anyways, a whole bunch of economic crap. Regardless, the economy's fucked. And we don't want someone who represents freedom to be in charge of a sinking ship. It's madness. I like Ron Paul. I think he's a good person, and he's the one who converted me to libertarianism and the ideas of a free society. That doesn't change the fact that if he got elected, he could harm the ideas of freedom for like hundreds of years, because if he was in charge or was the person in charge right before the United States economy collapsed, you'd have two things joined together: the ideas of libertarianism and collapsing the world's biggest economy. Do you want those things to be mishmashed, nice together? I mean, hell, people still think this is like a free market madhouse in the United States, despite the hyper regulation that goes on. The last thing we want when we're trying to educate people about the ideas of liberty is to have it like ingrained in their brains that, oh, well, it was that experiment with libertarianism that destroyed the United States economy. Of course it wouldn't be true. I mean, anyone who knows economics would know that's obviously not fucking true, but it would still destroy our credibility trying to talk to people for a very long time, and I don't think we should allow that to happen. I actually want Obama to win, so that way socialists can get blamed for the coming collapse of the United States economy. I know it's not going to be pretty, but there's really no pretty solution, and I think looking at it long term is the only logical thing to do. Because even if we gain some short term gains by electing someone like Ron Paul or getting libertarians in charge, over the long run, considering what's ahead of us, a collapsed economy, it's madness. It would destroy us and harm us overall way worse than it would help us. So if you are a libertarian, logically, you should do everything in your power to get socialists and people like Obama and Romney and all the other, well, they're basically socialists, elected because you want them to be blamed for the collapse of the United States economy. So do your part. Obama 2012, right, libertarians? I know this is going to get like thousands of thumbs downs. I don't even give a fuck. Whatever.